Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Nate here. And in Skyrim's southeasterlymost hold lies the city of Riften. Sitting on the borders of both Morrowind and Cyrodiil, Riften is one of Skyrim's most cosmopolitan settlements, boasting a massive population and thriving business district. However, the capital of the Rift hasn't been spared from Skyrim's recent turmoil. And if the Civil War and a dragon invasion aren't bad enough, Riften has recently become a hub for corruption and crime, serving as the base of both the powerful Thieves Guild crime outfit and the Black-Briar family, who are notorious for their various criminal enterprises and bribery schemes. In fact, as far as many are concerned, it's the thugs, not the Jarl and her guards, who rule the city's streets. With such a complicated present and past, it's not hard to see how this City of Shadows is one that's likely been keeping secrets from players for a very long time. So today we'll be taking a look at 5 things you probably didn't know about the City of Riften in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Starting off, Riften is rather unique among Skyrim's large cities, in of it that it actually boasts 3 main gates. Don't worry, I promise this is going to be interesting. There's the primary northern gate that most players will see and use upon first entering the city. There's a second gate located on the southwestern edges of the town's walls. And then there's a third gateway, located next to the local graveyard and Shrine of Talos towards the southeast. But if you can't already tell, this gateway is mysteriously boarded up and unusable. Why? Well, true to the title of this video, Skyrim itself literally doesn't tell us. There's no dialogue or conversations that we can have which explain this, it's not referenced in any quests or books. The gate is just boarded up for some unexplained reason, and that's that. Well, thankfully, in this instance, what Skyrim itself doesn't tell us, its official game guide does. I brought up Skyrim's game guide as a resource before in these videos. It was written by Bethesda Game Studios writers and published by Prima Games when Skyrim initially came out. So we can take what this book has to say fairly seriously. In a section dedicated to the city of Riften, the guide briefly explains that the real reason the southeastern gate is boarded shut has to do with a recent surge of bandit attacks. Evidently, travelers and merchants leaving and entering the city through this gateway have just so often been attacked by marauders, and on occasion, bandits have even been so emboldened as to try to attack the gate themselves. The Jarl just decided to block off that entrance entirely, deeming it too much of a hassle to deal with. It doesn't come off as the greatest solution, but in many ways this boarded up gate serves as a symbol of just how weak the Hold's government has become. So strained are their resources, the Jarl and her stewards decided they'd rather just stop people from using that door altogether, not wanting to risk confronting the problem. It's an unfortunate situation, but if there's any city this was going to happen in, I'm not surprised it's Riften. Next on our list, upon the Dovahkiin's first visit to the city, chances are you'll be approached by the conniving thief, Brynjolf, second in command of the Thieves Guild, who will recognize your potential as a pickpocket and invite you to join him in a specific scheme. You see, Brynjolf has recently opened up a stall in the town's marketplace, where he's been selling a special potion that he calls his Falmer Blood Elixir. He claims it can do all sorts of things: cure diseases, increase one's speed, heal wounds, help you make love like a saber cat, anything really. Now, of course, the drink does none of that. If you get your hands on a bottle and look at the effects, you'll find all that it really does is increase the consumer's health by a single measly point. Yeah, it's useless. It's snake oil. But he's not trying to turn a profit on it. The real reason Brynjolf's been selling this for so long is that he's been waiting for the opportunity to create a distraction. He'll inform the player that he plans on getting the attention of everyone in Riften's marketplace. And when they're all looking the other way, Brynjolf wants you to steal a ring from an Argonian merchant named Medesi, and plant it in the inventory of Brand Shay, another merchant who Brynjolf and the Thieves Guild would like to see arrested. Basically, they're trying to frame this poor Brand-Shay guy for thievery. This is the basis of the quest, a chance arrangement. And once Brynjolf's got everyone's attention and you've planted the ring, Brand-Shay will be jailed, and the quest will be completed. Brynjolf will then invite the Dragonborn to join the Thieves Guild, and will abandon his market stall, allowing the guild storyline to really kick off. However, this isn't the last we have to see of Brynjolf's little Falmer blood elixir, as after this quest has been completed, if the player visits the home of Helga, a local innkeeper with a reputation for being, shall we say, a bit romantically promiscuous. Seriously, there's an entire quest centered around meeting this woman's ex-lovers. We can find none other than a fresh bottle of the elixir patiently sitting on one of her nightstands, suggesting the woman fell headfirst for Brynjolf's scam. Likely because she heard the "make love like a saber cat" bit. This is also one of like 3 obtainable bottles of the elixir in the entire game, and it respawns every few days. Alas, just in case you were wondering, it seems that Riften's snake oil salesman was able to find a single buyer after all. Coming in at number 3, perhaps one of Riften's only truly benevolent institutions is its Temple of Mara. The place is run by Maramol, a Redguard priest of the goddess of love, and his wife, a Dunmer named Dinya Balu. The two characters are easily some of Riften's most genuinely good, kind-hearted people, and they seem to exhibit an actual concern for the town's well-being, despite its various nefarious influences. However, something you may not have known is that it would appear Dinya is one of the very few characters in a playable Elder Scrolls game that's pregnant. Indeed, she doesn't mention it, nor does she really show it directly to the player, and there's no conversations we can have or journals we can find that suggest she's getting ready for a child. But some dialogue she may casually have with her husband reveals that this Dunmer is absolutely expecting. Take a listen.
It fills me with joy to hear you're with child, Dinya. They said that it couldn't happen, but Mara has shown them their mistake.
And to think I was wandering the ash wastes only 2 years ago. I never knew my path would lead to you.
You were guided here. You were always meant to be here. That's the way of things.
Then I thank Lady Mara with all my heart. For you, for our child, and for our love.
This makes Dinya, alongside a woman living in Dawnstar named Seren, one of only 2 pregnant characters in the entire game. Furthermore, making matters even more interesting, is the fact that Dinya is, of course, a Dunmer, and the father, Maramol, a Redguard. So this kid would have both a human and elven parent. Now, it should be noted that crossbreeding between men and mer is actually a pretty well-established concept in Elder Scrolls lore. There's multiple books on the subject. Generally speaking, the child will be of the same race as the mother, though carry some substantial characteristics of the father. In fact, it's been said that the entire Breton subrace of men was really created thanks to frequent interbreeding between humans and high elves. However this kid turns out, who he or she looks more like and what traits they have, I suppose we ourselves will never know. But it seems Riften's Temple of Mara is about to get a new member very soon. For 4th spot, speaking of Riften's Temple of Mara, while it is again a very pure, benevolent place, run by kind, benevolent people, lying on a nightstand in one of the common bedrooms, players can find a very out-of-place item. Idly sitting on a desk is a copy of the book, A Kiss, Sweet Mother, which infinitely contains the Black Sacrament summoning ritual used to call the Dark Brotherhood by potential contract bidders. What's a book as dark as this doing in such a holy place? No way it belongs to Maramol or Dinya. What is going on? Well, we're actually not 100% sure of the identity of this book's original owner. That remains a mystery. However, there are some pretty good theories and suspects that have been floated. I personally believe that this article of literature belonged to Aventus Aretino, the young orphan boy who escaped Honorall Orphanage in the same city and later fled to Windhelm. Aventus clearly had knowledge of and interest in the Dark Brotherhood. I mean, he performs the Black Sacrament himself. It's quite possible that after fleeing the orphanage, before he totally left the city, he stopped by the Temple of Mara for a quick breather. Or maybe the priests gave him some assistance. Other players argue that maybe it was Cicero. Yes, the devious jester who's only recently made his way into Skyrim. We know he came from Cyrodiil. Maybe he crossed through Riften's border and made a stop in the city. Though, considering by this point in time he was a seasoned assassin, it seems a little odd that he would want to reread a book he's almost certainly very familiar with by now, but hey, he is crazy. Maybe whoever owned the book is still in the city. We know that Maven Black-Briar has a Black Sacrament ritual going on in her basement. It could be her, though I doubt that woman would bother to spend time in a Temple of Mara. Heck, maybe these priests aren't quite as pure as we previously thought. Maybe it is Maramal. Whoever this book really belonged to, only Bethesda knows, and Bethesda won't tell. And finally, last on our list, how could we do a video on the city of Riften without setting foot in its royal court, Mistavel Keep? Here, I want to take a look at Jarl Laelia Lawgiver's favorite steward. Meet Anuriel, an educated high elf who looks to be fully dedicated to her duty of defending the hold. Though, as we'll soon find out, looks can be a bit deceiving, and she has some, well, alternative loyalties. You see, first and foremost, as players who opted to side with the Imperials during the events of Skyrim Civil War will learn, or those of you who just break into her bedroom, Anuriel is secretly in the pocket of Maven Black-Briar and the Thieves Guild. Within her room, 2 different letters can be found. One is a letter from Maven regarding her imprisoned son, Sibby Black-Briar. In it, Maven orders Anuriel to ensure that Sibby is treated well in prison, though not released without Maven's explicit directions. Then, there's another letter written by Maven to Anuriel we could uncover during the events of the Civil War that's even more blatant. It reads, quote, "Dearest Anuriel, the Jarl has shown great wisdom in choosing you as her steward. A position well befitting your character, as it demands great cunning, grace, and shall we say, talent for performing one's duties tactfully and discreetly. You have become an important asset to our operation. I trust you found the dress accompanying this letter to your satisfaction. Remember, as I flourish, so too will my friends. However, I wish to remind you of your pledge to prevent Hunting Brew deliveries from entering the city. I am also waiting for the detachment of city guards to escort my merchandise. I understand it can take time navigating around the delicate sensibilities of your mistress, the great Jarl Laelia Lawgiver. But really, I've waited long enough. Provided you continue to serve my interests, I will continue to look after yours. I trust I'll be hearing from you soon. Signed, Maven." Yeah, it's clear as day Anuriel is loyal to someone other than the people of Riften. Now, during the events of the Civil War, if we side with the Imperials, we can confront Anuriel with this letter from Maven, and use it to blackmail her into revealing the position of a Stormcloak supply train. Given the fact that this revelation is a part of a major questline, I didn't initially want to put it in this video. But there's more to this high elf too. You see, she is also secretly in a relationship with one of the Jarl's Thanes, Unmid Snowshod. This love affair, like so much else we've talked about in this video, isn't connected to any quests or conversations we the player can have. But we can overhear dialogue between the 2 characters, confirming their hidden love. Take a listen.
Unmid, my sweet, are we still meeting later for combat training?
Of course. Your training isn't complete yet.
I'll look forward to it then.
Anuriel, would you please stop declaring that the city is safe for the Jarl to roam? You and I both know that isn't true.
I would never knowingly place Layla in danger. You know that, too. Why do you always question my judgment? You don't trust me.
I trust you. I'm just concerned about her safety, that's all. Don't be angry with me.
I'm not angry with you. Tell you what, lover. Meet me in my chambers later and we can discuss the situation in private.
I should point out that Unmid Snowshod is a fierce supporter of Ulfric Stormcloak and his Jarl. Like, he passionately believes in both causes. Whereas Anuriel, as we've just learned, is really only loyal to Maven Black-Briar. So it's odd that they'd find such a genuine connection. Oh well, I suppose maybe opposites do attract. And with that, we are going to wrap up 5 things they never told you about the city of Riften in The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Thanks so much for stopping by, everybody. Recently, we've been doing a lot of these location and faction-specific videos. So, what tiny details or hidden secrets relevant to places or people in Skyrim do you know of that I've yet to tackle? Leave a comment down below. As always, they are very much appreciated, now more than ever. Thanks again for watching, and hope to catch you all in my next video. Peace out, everyone.